2, 1.
New Shepard has cleared the tower.
Everybody who's been to space says it changes them in some way, and I'm just really excited to figure out how it's going to change me.
4 astronauts launching to the edge of space with unmatched views of the Earth below.
Feels good to be in the flight suit.
Oliver, welcome. Welcome. You're my fellow traveler. I'm excited we're going to do this journey together.
I'm going to be in that window.
Blue Origin, civilians in space, live from Launch Site 1 in West Texas and Times Square.
Atmosphere. 2 minutes after launch, the New Shepard reaches Mach 3 speed. Astronauts on board will feel a pressure 3 times the force of Earth's gravity. A minute later, the main engine of New Shepard cuts off, also known as MECO, or main engine cutoff, and the capsule carrying the passengers separates from the rocket. It is at this moment that the astronauts can unbuckle and experience weightlessness. 4 minutes into the mission, the crew capsule reaches apogee, the highest point in the flight, as the capsule speed slows to 0 miles per hour. Now both the capsule and the New Shepard rocket separately make their controlled descent back to Earth. New Shepard is more aerodynamic and will reach the Earth before the capsule. 6 minutes in, and the astronauts buckle back in preparation for the capsule to re-enter Earth's atmosphere. Moments before the New Shepard rocket lands, the engine reignites. The rocket makes a pinpoint vertical touchdown so it can be reused for future flights. 9 minutes after launch, the parachutes deploy from the capsule. They will bring the speed of the capsule down to 16 miles per hour as it drifts back to Earth. To slow the capsule's impact further, seconds before landing, the retro thrust system kicks on, releasing an air cushion resulting in a dust cloud. Once on the ground, the astronauts wait as recovery teams speed to meet them.
$120, $140. It depends on the mission. The launch complex to board the vehicle.
Okay, I was waiting for this. What is the carbon footprint of this vessel? Was a question that we got asked by Matthias. Okay, they go
of the Rivian? Of the
I was gonna say
the engine, the BE3, to certain things, but they can hold.
It fires retro rockets at the very last instant prior to touchdown to cushion the landing. In the event that those thrusters fail in any way, is the landing still, survivable? Obviously, it will be less comfortable, but is that needed for survivability? Landing system, if those thrusters failed, if the thrusters failed for any reason?
I'm so sorry. I got distracted again.
Right, they're going to experience something like 6 Gs.
What steps do they need to take to get there?
The goal is to be able to do this on a regular basis.
Funk was first up the stairs. Now we're seeing the crew all seated there as they prepare. Looks like they're changing their shoes, getting ready for whatever attire they need to start this trip.
7. So I'm imagining that crew member 7 is, helping them focus and actually they're
itself. We're going to be, of course, keeping an eye on all of this. Looks like Jeff Bezos is leading the way this time. Wally Funk led them up the stairs. And they're walking across the overpass now. Jeff Bezos giving a wave there. And it looks like they were spacing them out as well. I'm not sure if that was for our own image purposes, so we can get a good kind of prepping everybody, reminding them of the protocols. How
capsule here, it's a much more pedestrian type of thing because they're walking into an environment that where they're going to sit down in a comfortable seat by a big window. Yet there are procedures, and this is serious stuff in terms of the flight that they're about to take. It may only be 11 minutes, but the technology is an outstanding example of
a very different kind of takeoff than what we saw with Richard Branson and Virgin Galactic. What they did was they kind of had the rocket attached to a plane. The plane took off And then after a while in flight with the plane, then the
to stack back and forth.
There go the aft fin checks.
Even 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4. Command and start. 2, 1.
You see it right there. Blue Origin has begun its liftoff into space. Katie, as we're all watching this rocket go up with such force, give us a sense of what those passengers are feeling right this moment.
They are realizing just what I said, that it is so hard to leave the planet, and they are going. And you realize that you are going somewhere, and you are just not going to stop until that engine cuts out, and then you'll be in space. They're getting, the G's are starting to build up. Max Q. It's the highest dynamic pressure of the flight.
So what does Max Q feel like?
30,000 feet, Mach 1.
It's not a sudden thing for us. It's just that you realize that it's the most stress on the vehicle itself, and it's a nice thing to get done with, and that is the most stress on the parts of the vehicle. So now you know your vehicle is doing fine. They're coming up on 2 minutes, coming up on Mach 2.
And then they're eventually going to hit Mach 3.
Take in the freedoms of zero G. There is MECO, main engine cutoff. A beautiful shot down the New Shepard rocket. Look at that view.
It's awesome.
That was definitely
and
a
there we
from
go.
Wally.
Our astronauts have passed the Kármán line at about 328,000 feet, continuing their...
Okay, I'm going to start back.
That is a high, Katie, isn't it?
Oh, you can hear it in their voices. There's nothing like it with the Earth. That combination. And those windows are as big as you are.
And I imagine that no matter how many...
You see those two ships there, so the booster's on the bottom there. Well, actually, the booster's probably on the top.
Oh, fantastic. Look at this. It's dark up here.
Oh, wow.
2,000 miles an hour.
Is everybody in?
First step, status check. Astronaut Oliver.
Oh, wow. Oliver, status check. Blue Patrol.
Copy, astronaut Wally.
Wally. Blue Patrol, Wally is boosting.
Copy, astronaut Demo.
It sounded like Jeff Bezos saying happy, happy, happy. Right there, almost 7 minutes into their flight into space.
And Katie, tell people what they're seeing on the right of the screen, what is about to make landfall again.
Flight, our booster is about to return to its landing pad.
So they're going faster and faster and faster. Now they're starting to slow down in the that's actually we're looking at the booster there. Right. So two things are happening. The booster actually lands before they do, and you see it coming in for a landing, slowing down. It's going to land at about 5 miles per hour, usually right on that launch pad. So that's the booster landing that we're seeing right now.
So it can be
they
reused
are
again.
about
Shepard. A beautiful rocket that provided a beautiful flight to space.
First up, your booster has landed.
Bullseye for the booster right there on the launch pad.
Blue Control, Bezos, let's wait to hear about the booster.
By main. Stand by main.
so far, a nominal flight. Here comes the crew capsule back from space. The drogues deployed. Here are the mains out, reefing and coming to full inflation. Our rocket went over Mach 3, and now they're coming floating back down at just about 15 or 16 miles an hour, about to join us home back here in West Texas after having gone
So
over
Robin and George, you see those
the
parachutes now. Those are slowing it down to 16 miles per hour. Eventually, before it hits that desert, it's going to slow down to just 1 mile per hour. So it is a slow and gentle descent.
Gio, it seemed to go about as well as it possibly could have gone.
Just got about a minute and a half.
You know what? We had 15 successful tests before this, George, consecutive.
What a gentle float.
And George, if you can see the capsule there, it's looking a little bit toasty.
And touchdown.
There we
Welcome back, New Shepard.
There we go.
Human crew. What
New
a
Shepard.
flight.
First step. Congratulations to all of you.
Welcome back to Earth, 35 seconds ahead of schedule.
But I have a feeling a lot of people are exhaling right now. There's a lot
Thank you so much.
A lot to be thankful for.
The end, the sonic boom when the rocket comes back, to watching the capsule float down to the ground and land.
Weather balloons that we launched throughout the morning, and that gives us a very good idea of where it will land, which are within 1,000 feet. What you're seeing that they're doing right now is Kevin Sproul, crew member 7, is just making sure everybody is okay and gives them a thumbs up. They're also...
Boy, a dream come true for him, and he had his naysayers. He had people who did not believe in this and did not want this, but he was steadfast. And we've heard from so many on the benefits of this.
And guys, it's remarkable to see them walk out here without that traditional spacesuit.
Oliver! Congratulations! Congratulations! Your daddy's been around! Oh my God! That's great!
Lots of hugs for friends and family right there.
Boy, the stories they're going to have to tell. Love to go to a
What
dinner
a
party with
day
them.
again here, a successful launch and landing of the New Shepard rocket and crew capsule with our first human flight crew there, Jeff Bezos, Mark Bezos, Oliver Damon, and Wally Funk. And their families there.